It's good to see you, Tyler. It's been a long time. It's
It
been
has
a
been
long
a
time.
long time.
Yeah,
Thanks for doing this.
you're welcome. You're looking good. Looking very well, considering what you've been through. You're looking very, very
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah, it's been a long haul, but
yeah.
I'm finally stabilizing and doing much better.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, it's been like you say, a long haul to get through, but you've done well. So like I say,
Yeah,
considering
well, hopefully you can understand me.
I can understand you fine, no problem. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So we have the Texan and the British man.
Yeah,
Yeah, here we go. Excellent stuff. Well, thanks for inviting me anyway. It's great to be here with you, and I'm glad that we get the opportunity to talk with each other after such a long time of
yeah, it has been a while. How are
yeah.
things being a new dad?
Being a new dad is an adventure, definitely. It's an experience. It's a lovely experience, obviously, but it's hard work, especially
Yeah,
especially being here by ourselves. It's just me and my wife and our daughter. And our families are obviously in different countries, so we don't have any babysitters. We don't have anyone to kind of help out with anything whilst we're here. So it's
yeah, that makes it harder. We are very lucky to
mm,
live close to my in-laws, so we get free child care.
it's a dream for me. It's a dream,
Yeah,
be a dream. Uh,
yeah, that would be nice.
yeah, but it's been a lovely experience so far. She's amazing, and she keeps us happy and keeps us on our toes. And she's growing quickly, and very curious, and yeah, she's, yeah, it's an amazing experience,
Yeah,
definitely.
my daughter will turn 4 this year, so
Oh, wow.
time flies.
Oh, it's gone super quick. Our daughter was 9 this month, a few days ago, 9 months. And that time, it seems like yesterday she was born, and already she's nearly a year old. It's crazy. So
Yeah,
it's
it goes quickly.
super quick. Yeah, flies by like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, but that's cool. She's going to be 4, so yeah, and she's at school right now.
Yeah, she is at school.
Yeah,
I'd like to say she is 3 going on 30
pretty
because
good. Yeah.
she has had to grow up to take care of me, and she is my favorite nurse.
Your favorite nurse? Yeah. That's sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure
yeah, she's a
she's
good girl.
she's a good girl. Nice, excellent stuff. Yeah. Well, that's nice to hear that she's looking after you as well. And yeah, I'm sure it's helped her grow up a lot, and she's
Yeah,
experienced a lot already. And she likes school, does she?
yeah, she likes her school, and she just started swimming lessons.
Oh wow,
She loves the water.
wow. My daughter is also at school. She started school when she was like 5 months. We started taking her to a nursery, basically, a daycare, because me and my wife both have to work. And like I say, we don't have anyone here to help us look after my daughter. So our only option was to send her to a daycare. And she's been going there since she was 5 months, and she's been
Oh,
riding horses.
yeah.
She's about to start swimming as well. She's going to go swimming this week for the first time.
Oh,
Uh,
good.
they've got a farm. She loves to play with the animals. She loves the animals because we have a cat. So since she was born, she's been used to having the cat around. So she's quite used to animals, and yeah, she loves it. So she's quite
Yeah, my
very attached.
brother and sister-in-law have cats, but my wife has bad allergies,
Uh,
so we do not have any pets.
no, that's a shame. That's a shame. But what can you do? What can you do? I'm sure she'll get some experience at school, or
Yeah,
take her to the zoo. She like,
yeah, they have taken her to a farm.
mm, nice. I bet she liked that. She enjoyed that. I'm sure she came home with lots of stories to tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we just got back from visiting my parents in Texas,
You flew.
and she got to ride a horse.
Oh wow. Ah, nice. So how long were you in Texas?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, nice. So a quick visit for the family with your daughter.
Yeah, so we got to see my family and friends,
Was it the
and my
first?
grandma got to meet Eliana for the first time.
Wow, wow. Is it her first time in Texas?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is her first time in the United States.
Wow, wow. And your mum and dad have been over to visit you in Spain, I assume,
Yes,
previously.
they have been here 5 times.
5 times. Wow, that's a lot of times to come over to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they come every chance they get so
sure.
they can spend time with Eliana.
Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. My mum still has not met my daughter, so she still has to meet
Yeah,
the family.
hopefully it'll happen soon.
Hopefully, yeah, it's difficult because my mum can't travel. She can't fly long distances because she had a brain tumor years ago and she had an operation, and because of her medication and because of her she has an issue with her blood as well. Because of these medical things, the insurance is incredibly difficult to fly, so they don't recommend that she flies more than 2 hours. So as you know, Colombia is more than a 2 hour flight from Europe, and
Yeah,
it's very difficult for her to come here. So our only option is to go there as a family. So we're waiting to go over there and visit with her, basically.
yeah, well, hopefully you get the chance because my grandma, she met Eliana for the first time and she has 26 great grandchildren.
Oh my God, 26. Wow.
Yeah,
It's a lot of grandchildren. It's a lot of great grandchildren.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
There's
expensive
14
Christmas.
of us grandkids, and now there's 26 great grandkids.
Wow. Wow. Like I say, an expensive Christmas for her. So, but I'm sure
Yeah,
she appreciates it
but
all.
she remembers every birthday and anniversary, and she always mails us a card.
Wow. There we go. It's the old generations, if you ask me. They're very good like that, older generations,
Yeah,
remembering special occasions and celebrating those occasions. Uh,
yeah,
the days when we didn't have Google and stuff to remind us of people's birthdays, or Facebook to remind you of someone's
yeah,
birthday. So that's why they're so good. I think they have it locked into their brains already, so they remember that.
yeah. She stays active, so we're lucky to still have her around.
Hmm. How old is she?
88.
88. Wow. Okay, she's doing well. Very well.
Yes. Yeah, and my dad is her oldest kid, and he is 70.
70. She was 18. She was then when she had your dad.
Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
way younger than I was.
Way younger. Yeah. 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 We waited. I think we waited a bit longer to jump into that.
Yeah, but I am glad that I waited.
Me too. Yeah, I think getting to experience life and enjoy your life and do some things before you have a child is definitely a good thing because once you have a child, you don't have much free time, do you, to do
Yeah,
the things that,
that is true.
yeah.
I only hope to get back to normal health wise so
Hmm.
I can be like a normal father for her because I do not want her to have to always worry about me.
Yeah, yeah, that's difficult, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure she's happy that, she gets to spend the time that she does with you, though, do the things she does with you. Uh, so I'm sure for you, though,
Yeah,
you'd like to be able to do a few more things with her, obviously, like
yeah, but
physically
I'll
wise.
get there slowly but surely.
Exactly, that's the attitude, isn't it? Slowly but surely. There's no rush that you just have to take it bit by bit. And obviously, you've got this far already from where you were before. So you know that
Yeah,
it's
I
possible.
was much worse off
Yeah.
before,
Mhm.
so I'm doing much better now.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, it took a lot of hard work, obviously, to get to where you are as well. You were
Yeah,
telling me you were going to physiotherapy and various treatments like nearly every day, every week, right? For
yeah.
however long.
I'm still doing physio
Yeah.
4 days a week,
Mm.
and I do speech therapy on my own. And then now I am doing an exercise program on my own. It was created by an ex wrestler, and all of the exercises are done sitting down in a chair, but it still gets my heart going like 120 beats a minute. And then 4 days a week, I walk 1 hour a day extra. So I am staying busy with my exercise and training and my English teaching YouTube channel.
Oh, you got an English teaching YouTube channel, have you? Excellent.
Yes.
Wow.
So because teaching English is the only thing I know how to do, I cannot teach in person, obviously, because of my speech,
Yeah.
but I use Chat GPT to create my script,
Yeah.
and I use an artificial voice from Google to talk for me. So the only thing I have to do is think of the general topic that I want to teach, and then I create the video and the text, and Google does all of the talking.
Wow. There we go. Technology. It's amazing what you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it is allowing me to do the only thing that I know how to do, even if I have to do it in a different way than before.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you're able to still keep doing that. So you got to stay busy, haven't you? Doing something. You need something to keep your mind occupied other than
Yeah,
usual
so
life stuff.
I stay busy between all of my training and exercise and my YouTube channel.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. How many students do you have on your channel? How does it work?
Uh, I have subscribers,
Have subscribed?
and I have 38 subscribers.
Yeah, wow, okay. Nice. Nice.
But interestingly, most of my subscribers are people who want to learn English, and they are from India.
Indians. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
90% of my subscribers are from India.
Wow. There we go. So obviously a lot of Indians wanting to learn English.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you used to have lots of contacts over here in Colombia for teaching English. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I did.
Yeah, you should reach out to some of them and see if they will follow you on your channel, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because YouTube will pay you when you reach 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah. Oh, a little way to go, slightly. You're getting there bit by bit.
Yeah,
It's difficult.
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I imagine as long as you're producing good content, that's all that matters. And if you're happy that you're doing something that's worthwhile and it makes you happy, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, it makes me feel productive.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Well, I wish you good luck with the rest of that. I hope that you get to your 1,000 subscribers in all due time. Like you say, there's no rush to get there, but I hope you're able
Yeah,
to reach your goal. Well, I'll try and
and
suggest you. You'll have to send me your link to your channel, and I'll subscribe, and I'll pass you some of my students maybe so that they can
well,
you
I appreciate that.
try and build that
Yeah,
subscription.
I am currently looking for a real job, but it has been difficult to find because with my limited mobility, it's hard to get around, and with my speech being affected, it's hard to get a job where I need to talk a lot. So I have not been able to find a job that allows me to stay home and not talk.
Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult to find jobs where you don't have to talk. It's crazy, isn't it? Um,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe some kind of analyst, someone who analyzes like websites or something, or but
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I guess you need experience as well in that type of thing to do it. So yeah,
yeah.
but
But I'll find something sooner or later.
exactly, yeah, yeah. The main thing is you're being proactive and you're in trying to, to find something and you're
Yeah,
doing stuff. So you're not just sitting there and hoping something comes to you. So that's good. That's positive.
yeah,
Yeah. I'm glad to hear about that. Excellent, excellent.
yeah,
You sent me some questions as well, Tyler. You sent me some questions. I also sent you some questions. So we have some questions to go through for each other. We just had a little introduction there, didn't we? Like
yeah.
catching up on
Then,
things. But shall we go through our questions now? And
yeah. Do you want to do one and one, or you ask me all your questions, then I ask you all my questions?
I think we'll go one and one. I think that's the best way to do it. We'll do one and one. And we'll just
Okay,
go along.
then let me grab my questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, good. Then you can go first, and then I will ask you my first question.
Okay, so my first question for you, Tyler, is not that long ago, as you mentioned before, 4 years ago, you became a parent. So, what is something that you have learned from becoming a parent?
Uh, Patience.
Patience.
Being patient is really important. And I have also learned how to love learning again, because there are many things that I take for granted that I know as an adult, but my daughter is just learning for the first time. So she gets very excited when she learns something new, and it makes me excited to want to learn something new also.
You see it from a new perspective, I guess. Like you mentioned, she's doing it for the first time, so it's um, it's a whole new way of learning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I remember the other day, it was sunny outside, but it was raining. And I told her she needed an umbrella. And she didn't realize that it could rain when the sun is shining.
Um,
But it is possible.
oh, nice, nice. The things you learn, the things you take for granted, like you say. It's all true
Yeah.
for us adults, but yeah, it's like a very special thing to see such a young person learning these things for the first time. So nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Wow, that's super cool. But patience, like you mentioned as well, is definitely a thing that you learn being a parent, right? Being patient is super
Yeah.
important. Yeah,
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, yeah.
And what is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. Now, I had a couple of options actually, but I ended up choosing uh, slow walkers. This applies very much so for Colombia, really, because I'm I've always been fast at walking, quite fast walker. And I don't know if you remember in your time over here, got that the people they walk not in like a file, like a line. They walk sort of together sideways. So they take up all the
Yeah.
pace and they walk very slowly. So if you're like me and you walk very quickly, I always end up getting stuck behind these people walking very slowly. And that's one thing that kind of uh, gets me over here is that I always get stuck behind people walking slowly. And like I said, they always
Yeah.
choose to walk like taking up the whole pavement. They don't walk in just one single line. They make a big sort of group of people along the pavement, so you can't get past them. So it's
Yeah, when you're on the bridge for Transmillennial
oh
and get stuck behind a group of people.
yeah, still on exactly. You get stuck behind those people all the time on the Transmilenio bridges. I'm actually living in Cajica now. I don't know if you ever went to Cajica when you were in Colombia, but it
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
I went there.
you have, yeah, it's just a little town outside of the main city. So it's not got Transmilenio, but I was glad to get away from that because yeah, that was a real place where people would sort of get in your way and you'd get stuck behind big groups of people all the time. But it still happens here actually in Cajica. They have very narrow streets. So even more chance to get stuck behind very slow walkers. So I would say that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves is being stuck behind slow walkers, especially if I'm in a rush to get somewhere and I
Yeah.
move fast. It can
And are you working in Bogota?
No, I'm working at home. I work independently, teaching English still doing that. But I do it from home now, online, teaching classes to various people.
Good.
Yeah, yeah. So it keeps me out of trouble for the moment.
Yeah.
It's not my ideal profession. I'm very much into like music and stuff, which is why I offered to do the audio for this podcast for you because it's something that that's what I know how to do. Like you said, you do your YouTube channel because it's what you know how to do. For me, what I know how to do is like music production and sound design and stuff. So I'd like to work in that industry, but it's quite a difficult industry to get into properly.
Yeah.
I have various
Well,
experience, but it's
I'll cross my fingers for you.
yeah, so it's difficult to get consistency. I have various jobs doing things in it, but it's difficult to make consistent money. So that's why I teach English full time. But when I'm not doing that, then I do that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
basically, so that's how I spend most of my working time is doing those kind of things. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So my next question for you, Tyler, is what was your favorite snack or candy as a kid when you were a child? What did you?
Probably Laffy Taffy.
Now, was that kind of really chewy kind of stuff that got stuck in your teeth?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the stuff.
that's the stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that as a kid, and I still love it as an adult.
They still make it, do they? They still make it.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it an American like candy? I don't know if we have that in the UK, like where I'm from.
Yeah,
Similar
it's
things maybe, but
very American. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Yeah, I used to love Snickers when I was younger, although they were called Marathon when I was a kid, and then they changed it to Snickers. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I do not like peanuts, so I never like Snickers. But there is one called Milky Way or a Mars bar, and it's similar to Snickers with no nuts.
Yeah, we didn't care so much when we were kids, did we, about our teeth and stuff like that. I guess we were
Yeah, not so much.
people are very sensitive nowadays when it comes to all these type of things. So
Yeah,
interesting how we didn't really pay so much attention when we were younger to those things.
that is true.
Uh,
And do you prefer to spend your free time indoors or outdoors?
I prefer to spend my free time mostly outdoors, actually. I'm quite an outdoor person. When I'm not working and I'm just enjoying my free time, I like to go out and do different things with the family. I like to travel when we can and go to like places out of the city where we can walk around and enjoy the nice weather and enjoy the nature and something peaceful about being outside. It's nice. I mean, I come from a town called, well, a city called Brighton in England, which is a coastal town. So I'm used to spending a lot of time outside, like by the beach, enjoying the peace of of nature, basically. I actually grew up, first of all, in a little town, a little village when I was born. I was born for my first 13 years of my life. I grew up in this little town and it was just farms, etc. So there was a lot of nature around me. And then we moved to the city, which was by the coast. And I grew up basically with that experience in my life, just being outside with friends, playing. Uh, back in those days, we didn't have mobile phones or internet, etc., to keep us entertained. We used to
Yeah,
go outside and play games and enjoy our time outside with our friends, etc. That was very much what we did when I was younger. Times have changed though very much now. We've
yeah.
spend there.
Now people are more sedentary and we're more connected
Mm.
but you're lonelier.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for some reason. It's unfortunate, isn't it? It's unfortunate the way that kids kind of spend all their time just glued to their phones or technology. Like you say, it's like a lonely life.
Yeah, we're trying to get my daughter out in the fresh air and playing outside, and we try to limit her use of technology.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good way to do it. Definitely try and teach them while they're young, but it's difficult with all the influence they have around them, isn't it? It's very difficult to try and convince them to be different to everyone else, maybe, and not
Yeah, that
follow
is
the trend.
true.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully she will listen to you, and she will try and enjoy her time away from her phone. So
yeah,
it's
hopefully so.
a good goal to have, though. Definitely, I believe that that should be the way people should, grow up, enjoy life,
Yeah,
experience the natural way of living, not the artificial way. So,
yeah, that is true.
uh, what is a book that you would recommend to anyone?
My favorite book is a book called Factfulness by Hans Rosling. And it is a book about how things are better in the world than you imagine. For example, in 1990, 50% of the children in Africa died before the age of 5 due to preventable diseases,
Mm,
and now 10% of children in Africa die before the age of 5. So in 34 years, we have decreased the death rate by 40%.
mm. Yeah. Still a very young age to be dying, isn't it? And like you say, preventable diseases as well makes it even sadder.
Yeah,
Think of it that way.
stuff that we would not worry about in the Western world, but they die easily in Africa.
Yeah, yeah, sad, sad. But it's improved by 40%, like you said, but still something that maybe could be improved even more, I guess.
Yeah,
But
but that book really helps you see the positive
mm,
things in life.
yeah, yeah, nice. Positivity is always a good thing. So yeah, it's a lot of
Yeah,
negativity in the world, so it's always nice to see a bit of positivity once in a while.
yeah.
Yeah. Ah, excellent, excellent. Nice. I'll have to look out for the book. What did you say it was called again, just to remind us?
I'll send it to you on Messenger,
Send
but
me a
it's
link.
called Factfulness by Hans Rosling.
Okay,
I'll send you the link.
perfect. Excellent. Yeah.
And what is your favorite thing to do on a rainy day?
Oh, on a rainy day, when it's rainy and horrible, I love to be in my bed watching a nice film. I like to keep warm, maybe eating a nice snack, drinking a nice warm drink, watching a cool film, not doing very much, listening to the rain. Something very
Yeah,
therapeutic and relaxing about listening to the rain when you're indoors and you're all nice and warm and cozy and relaxed. It's a
sounds
nice
good to me.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice feeling. Nice feeling. It's very relaxing. So that would
Yeah,
be my favorite thing to do on a rainy day. Definitely not being outside getting wet.
yeah.
That would not be my favorite thing at all. No. Yeah. What about you?
When it's raining, I love to stay inside also and watch something on TV.
Uh,
When we moved to this apartment where we live now, we bought it, and I told my wife the only thing I want is a good TV and a good mattress, and she can have whatever else she wants. So we got a huge TV and a good mattress.
nice. Yeah, it sounds like a proper man's den to me. That's what we need. Every man needs a little area just to kind of relax and chill out, especially on a rainy day.
Yeah,
Excellent, excellent. And she listens, so fantastic job.
yeah.
Yeah, nice. What's my next question for you is how do you stay positive? Obviously, you've been through quite a lot in your life, as we all know. You've been through various different sort of challenges throughout your life since you were very young. How do you keep yourself staying so positive?
Uh, Basically, I just remember that no matter how bad it is for me, it could always be worse, and there is someone in a worse situation than me. So I would not wish this condition on my worst enemy, but I am doing much better than some other people, and everything happens for a reason. So I am very lucky to know that I do not have a degenerative condition, and I will not get progressively worse, only better with time and effort. And my wife and daughter have been amazing, and they keep me going because I need to get better, not only for me, but for them also.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very inspirational, obviously. Like, I think it's definitely a good outlook to have on life is to say, yeah, there's always someone who's got it worse. I think maybe we focus a lot on people who have it better in our lives. Many people focus on the good stuff that people have, but like you say, there's always someone who's got it worse as well. So it's
Yeah.
it's a good way to stay positive, definitely.
Yeah, so of course I wish none of this would have ever happened, but it did. And I still consider myself very lucky, everything considered.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. Nice. Nice. So it's got you through to where you are now, and like we were saying before, you come along leaps and bounds considering, and you are getting better every day. So that's positive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is a positive,
Obviously,
yes.
obviously works. That kind of mindset helps you to kind of keep pushing forward and keep trying to better yourself. Uh,
Yes, because I just always try to remember that if I give up and quit, I am not quitting on myself only, but I would also be quitting on my wife and daughter, and I do not want to do that.
yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely a very good mindset to have. Like you say, the impact that our choices have that don't just affect us, but they affect others as well. So it's definitely a
Yeah,
good outlook to have on life. Definitely.
yeah, gotta keep going.
Got to keep pushing. Got to keep pushing forward. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, excellent.
And if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
It was a tough choice for me. There's a few options that I'd like, but I can't be greedy. So I went for like what I thought was probably the weirdest one, which was the ability to fly. Why is it weird? Because I don't like heights. I hate being up high, but having the ability to fly would be quite a cool superpower. Uh,
Yeah.
for the fact of exploration, going around, seeing different things from a different perspective, looking down on things, and yeah, it sounds like quite a cool superpower to have. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really liberating.
Yeah, the freedom of being up there with the birds and just looking down on planet Earth. Yeah, flying would definitely be a good one for me, but not with my fear of heights though. Like I say, so it's a bit of a weird choice that I made, but um, it would definitely be quite useful in the event of any kind of natural disasters. Obviously,
Yeah,
to fly off and get away from it. Like as you know, we have quite a few earthquakes over here in
yeah,
Colombia, and there are different things that happen in the States. For example, they've recently had the big storm, haven't they? I'm sure many people would have been quite happy to have flown off during that situation.
yeah,
Florida recently, they've had that big storm hit, which is pretty devastating for many people.
yeah. I used to be afraid of heights, but then I went skydiving and I cured my fear.
Yeah, they say you have to face your fears head on sometimes in order to get over them. Like, just go and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's easier said than done. Like for me,
yeah.
I can't see myself ever jumping out of a plane personally. Uh, but no,
Well, I love it
I'm
now, but it was very scary the first time.
sure it was. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure it was very scary. Where did you do that? Did you do it in the States or
No,
where?
in Australia.
Ah, Australia. Okay, nice, nice. Yeah, they do a lot of like extreme sports in that kind of part of the world, like
Yeah,
Australia. So yeah, nice, nice. Well, there we go. So you got over your fear. I've still yet to get over my fear of heights. Like I'm not too bad. I have a friend whose dad has a very rare, weird kind of reaction to heights. He's one of those people who, if you put him up somewhere very, very high, he wants to jump. I don't know if you've heard about that before, but some people, their reaction to heights, rather than shying away and trying not to fall off the edge, for example, they do the opposite. They kind of have to get away from the situation, and their way of getting away from the situation is to jump. So he's not allowed on any kind of balcony or anything like that. I remember him telling me the story of when they went skiing and they went up on the ski lift. You know, there's ski lifts that pick you up and they take you up the top of the mountain to ski down the mountain.
yeah,
And he went up with his dad and he turned around and his dad had jumped. He just jumped off halfway up. He decided
yeah,
it was all too much for him and he just decided to jump. And that's when they
yeah,
discovered his weird reaction to heights. So since then, he was never allowed to ever go anywhere unassisted or.
yeah. That is a weird reaction.
It is strange, isn't it? Like for me, for example, the last thing I want to do is jump. I just want to be away from that area and like away from the
Yeah,
from that height, but I don't want to jump off. No, but yeah, it's that's his reaction to that situation. I thought that was quite an interesting reaction.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's that was my superpower. My superpower would be to fly, basically, if I could, and maybe that would cure my fear of heights. Maybe it'd be the way of,
Yeah,
of
me
I could
too.
bit by bit fly higher and higher and see how I get on. Uh,
Yeah.
it's a nice, easy way to gradually break yourself into it. So there we go. Um, what was my next question for you? My next question for you was, what's something that you have never had that you would like to have, even if it's just for one day?
Um, I think probably I know that I could never complete this, especially since my surgeries. I eat less now, but in Texas, they have a food challenge where if you eat everything, you get it for free. But if you don't eat everything, it costs $85. And if I could complete that challenge, then I would do it.
Okay, nice, nice. I've heard about these food challenges. I think there's a TV program about a guy who used to go around and like take part in various food challenges. I can't remember
Yeah,
the TV program.
it's called Man vs. Food.
Versus food, that's the one. He remembers. Excellent. So your memory's better than mine. And yeah,
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 my long term memory, but
yeah.
my short term memory now is terrible.
Uh, yeah, I think I suffer with both, to be honest. I, long term and short term still bug me occasionally. But yours is just your short term now, is it? So you
Yeah, I have to write everything down so I don't forget it.
okay, nice.
But my long term memory and my language ability have not been affected.
Excellent, excellent. So you remember all the times that you've traveled, all the stories from when you were younger, things you did when you were younger, and all that stuff is
Yes,
very clear to you, but it's just what you did this morning when you got out of bed and stuff like that. That's
yes,
the problem.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I wrote down all of my memories until I was 35.
Oh,
And then I got sick and had all this surgery.
yeah.
So I stopped writing. But about 6 months ago, I started writing my memories again. So I have got it up now to the current time.
Uh,
And all of the memories that I was too young to remember, I asked my parents and I made it chronological by year, and everything I could remember from that year, I typed it up.
wow. Okay. Excellent stuff. So you got like your memoirs basically all written up and
Yes.
printed.
So I am planning to read one page a day to Eliana when she turns 5. Before she is 5, she is too young to want to pay attention.
Yeah,
But eventually, when or if she gets married, I plan on giving her a printed copy.
yeah. Yeah, many people do stuff like that with what do they call like time capsules or something, isn't it? Is that what they call them? Where people leave
Yeah,
like a box or something with old memories and stuff for people to find like years later in order to
yeah.
share their
And
experiences.
so, like, I wrote things about my grandparents who are dead now, and Eliana never got to meet them,
Uh,
but at least she can read my stories about them.
yeah, nice, nice. It's a nice thing to do, definitely, to have some kind of memories and um, a way of exploring that for future generations is definitely a nice thing to do. So,
Yeah, I really enjoy writing down the major memories.
yeah, you're just sticking to the major ones. You're not including any funny stories.
A few, yeah,
Yeah,
but
I remember
all the,
you always used to have many stories to tell when we were working together. You always used to have lots of stories to tell us about various times in your life.
yeah, all the stuff that sticks out in my mind, I write it down. I'll send you a copy if you want.
You can do, yeah. I'll see if I can remember anything particular that I can.
Yeah,
So I always remember you in meetings when we used to have the work meetings. I don't know if you remember those work meetings. Possibly not, because you used to fall asleep a lot. Which is what I
yeah,
remember was trying because I always used to sit next to you. I always remember kind of nudging you with my elbow, trying to stop you from falling asleep.
yeah,
I always remember the one time that we left the meeting and you were wearing beige trousers and you were using a red pen to take notes in the meeting and you were trying not to fall asleep to the point that when you were taking notes, you were writing on your trousers, and
yeah.
you came out of the meeting with red pen all over your trousers. Yeah,
Yeah, that is what I remember is falling asleep in the boring meetings.
I blame Darby, the headmaster. I think it was just his monotonous stories that used to send us off to sleep, and his
Yeah.
very boring. Yeah, yeah. But those
Yeah,
were fun times. We had some fun times together during those.
yeah, we did.
We made the best out of a bad situation, sort of basically.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, I always remember that. I always remember that. Anyway, yeah,
yeah,
send me a copy. I'll have a look and see if there's any other things I can remember that maybe.
yeah. I'll send you a copy.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you've probably remembered most of it though, so it'd be interesting to have a look and see
Yeah.
what you put in there. Definitely, definitely. Nice, nice. Um, whose question? Is it your question or is it my question now? See, this is what I mean. My memory is just as bad. You see, short term, long term. Uh,
I asked you the one about the superpowers.
You asked me about the superpowers, yeah. We were talking about flying, weren't we? Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I asked you about what one thing you'd like to do, and you mentioned the Texas, the food. You'd like the food.
So it's my
I think
turn.
it's your. I think that's what was that? One, two, three, four, five. That was question five. And one, two, three, four. Yeah, it's you. Yeah, it's your question.
What's your favorite type of music?
Oh, here we go. So, like I mentioned to you before, I'm very into like kind of music and sort of working and that kind of stuff. I like all types of music, which sounds like a very kind of like boring answer. If I was to specify particular types of music that I really enjoy listening to, I do really enjoy like funk soul music. I like that type of music a lot. Reggae music, I quite enjoy as well. Um, Bass music as well, hip hop music. Those are some types of music that I've always enjoyed listening to. But I'm quite broad in my types of music that I listen to. Like I'm quite
Yeah.
open to listening to all sorts of different types of music. So um, Yeah, yeah, that would be my favorite sort of types of music would be kind of a bit of everything, really, a bit of everything. But I really do enjoy like yeah, the sort of funk, soul, reggae, hip hoppy sort of those kind of things
Yeah,
a lot.
little bit of everything.
A bit of everything. Yeah, yeah. What about you? What music do you enjoy listening to?
Um, in English, I listen to mostly classic rock or country music.
Goes to
And
Texas, Texan coming.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And in Spanish, I love bachata and Nicky Jam.
Nicky Jam, you're a fan of Nicky Jam. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. Interesting. I like a bit of salsa personally. I love a bit of salsa music. I think it's cool, salsa music. I don't
yeah.
I don't really like Baginato. I'm not a fan of the Baginato music very much
Not me
because
either.
I don't like the instrument. I don't like the accordion, and there's a lot of accordion in Baginato, and I don't really like that instrument. It's a bit like the bagpipes, if you're familiar with bagpipes. It's
Yeah,
you either love it or you hate it kind of sound, and I don't really like
yeah. I do not like it.
no. So there we go. We got something in common there as well. I think music very much depends on the situation that you're in as well, what you're doing at the time. Some music is
Yeah,
very
that's true.
appropriate to certain situations, like, and not others. Like if you're relaxing on the beach, for example, like you could listen to like something more relaxing rather than aggressive, basically.
Yeah,
Think yeah, the situation that you're in does influence a lot what you listen to. So certain music
that is
sounds better
true.
in different environments, basically. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't listen to heavy metal in an elevator, for example. I might feel slightly uncomfortable, or like
Yeah, I would not either. I do not like death metal.
yeah. It has its place. This is what I'm trying to say. Is every type of music has its time and place, basically. So it has a big impact on. But I like music for it's definitely a good nostalgia. It reminds you of different times of your life. It brings back memories. It's like smell. Smells bring back various memories of your life, right? When you smell
Yeah,
something, like, that reminds me of a time when I was younger. I think music does a very similar thing with our ears. Like when we hear something, sometimes it reminds you of a particular moment in your life or brings back a particular feeling, like an emotional feeling to you. So
yeah, that is true.
very powerful like that. Yeah. Smell is the one that gets me though. When I smell various things, sometimes it brings back certain feelings or memories from the past.
Yeah, I love the smell of Cinnabon.
Cinnamon. Oh, I'm a big fan of cinnamons. Yeah, I love a nice cinnamon roll. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, can't beat it. I do believe we went once or twice when you were here in Colombia, actually, if I remember
yeah,
correctly,
we did.
to go for a cinnamon roll. Yeah. Yeah, I still to this day, it's one of my nemesis really when it comes to trying to eat healthy. I find myself occasionally having an unhealthy cinnamon roll, but
Yeah,
just can't stop myself.
yeah, they're okay every now and again.
Yeah, it's not something you should have every day, but yeah. So that smell, what does that smell remind you of, or the taste? Does it brings back?
It reminds me of my mom and my grandma making cinnamon rolls at home.
Yeah, so they used to make them when you were younger, and you remember that
Yeah,
smell. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing how we connect things to smell and sound. Like it's interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
nice. It's my question next. What was my next question for you? My next question for you is, uh, what was your favorite country out of all your travels? Because you traveled a lot throughout your life. When I met you, we met in Colombia, both
Yeah,
being in a foreign country at the time. But you have traveled to far many more countries than I have. So, uh,
yeah.
What are some of the places you've been, and what would be probably your favorite place out of all those places that you've been to?
I have been to 44 different countries,
Wow.
but do you want to know the best country I have lived in or visited?
I think we should have both. As you've given us an option to living and visiting, I think I'd like to know what was the best place you've lived in, and then you can tell me what was the best place you visited afterwards.
Okay, the best place I have ever lived. When you're single, Colombia is a great place to live. But when you have a family, the stability here in Spain is definitely worth it. Here, I do not have to worry about security or paying for education or health care.
Yeah.
All of the major expenses are covered by the government.
Yeah.
So life here is very comfortable when you have a family.
Yeah.
So I would choose Colombia when I did not have a family, but when I have a family, I would choose here in Spain to live and to visit. My favorite country to visit has been Fiji.
Fiji.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Fiji? What was so amazing about visiting Fiji?
Because it is like a tropical island paradise and you are free from the distractions of modern life.
That's always nice. Yeah. Too many distractions nowadays with life. It's difficult to separate yourself and get away from it all. So yeah, Fiji. Oh, wow, wow. How long were you in Fiji when you visited? How long did you stay there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So you had 2 weeks away from society and from all types of things
Yes,
distracting.
I stayed on an island with traditional Fijian people, and there was no electricity or running water.
So no, when you say no distractions, you mean like no mobile phones, no TV,
Yeah,
no
yeah, there was
technology.
nothing. We woke up with the sun
Mm.
and we went to bed when the sun went down.
One with nature, basically.
Yeah,
Nice, nice. Yeah, so basically,
yeah,
how we use nature to tell us when to go to bed, when to wake up, when to do things. I remember when I was younger, the sun going down was almost like a signal to like go back home when you were
yeah,
out playing with your friends and you'd see the sun start to go down. You wouldn't have a mobile phone, but you'd know just by looking at the sun going down and it starting to get dark that you should probably go back for dinner or go back and see your mum and dad before you get into trouble. So
yeah.
yeah,
We always went home when the street lights turned on.
the lamps. Yeah, I didn't have lamps because we used to live in the countryside. Like I mentioned before, I grew up in the countryside when I was very young. So we just used to go out into the woods. There used to be lots of woods near where I lived, or just farms and fields, and there was no street lights anywhere. So we just used the sun. So when the sun started going down before it got completely dark, that's when we used to head back home where I was. But I think you said you grew up obviously with in Texas, but was that in a farm area or what was the area like that you grew up?
Both. I grew up until I was 12 in a big city. But then when I was 12, we moved to a little tiny town.
Uh, so you went from the city to a town. You were like the opposite of what I did because I went from the town to the city, but you went from the city to the
Yeah.
town. Okay, wow, nice.
Yeah, it was opposite.
Yeah. Probably quite an interesting experience and impact on your life, I suppose, moving from a city. How old were you when you moved? What did you say? From
12.
12. Okay, so still fairly young, but old enough to kind of, have friends and have your own kind of life at that sort of time. So I imagine
Yeah.
you gave up a little bit of what you were experiencing with your friends and stuff in the city to go and live in the country.
Yeah. But I was lucky and I made new friends.
That's the thing when you're that age, it's easy, isn't it, really, just to go out and find new people.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of being so young. Everything's easy. Or easier, should we say. It's not easy. Life is never easy, but it's easier. Yeah.
And tell me about the best concert you have ever attended.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting one, this one, because like I say, I'm very into music stuff, but I have not been to many concerts. I've been to many nights out and free events like down on the beach where I used to live and but to actual concerts, I've not been to many, but out of the ones that I have been to, probably the best one that I've ever went to was like the Prodigy. I don't know if you are familiar with them. They're like an electronic
Yeah,
music
I
band.
know who they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to see them like years and years ago when I was, oh, I must have been like 17, something like that when I went to see them. It was them and some Cool Keith as well, interestingly, just someone that they used to work with as well. So that was yeah, that was a really good like live performance concert, like really energetic performance, and it was it was a good experience. It was a good memory to have, definitely that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I always remember one other live thing I went to, which wasn't really a concert, but do you know Fatboy Slim?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from my city, Brighton. That's where he's from. And many, many years ago, when I was like 16 or maybe 17, it was around a very similar time. He threw a very big party on the beach, and he had like he DJ'd on the seafront on the beach. Like, uh, always remember that time because the city was completely taken over by the country. Everyone from various parts of the country came down to see this. And the whole city was completely packed, round full of people coming down to see this. And the whole beach, as far as you could see, was filled with people, basically, who'd come down to watch this. So people were hanging on lampposts and sitting on tops of lampposts, etc.,
Yeah.
just to be able to see what was happening.
Yeah. There
Uh,
was a lot.
all of the restaurants and food shops completely ran out of stuff, and like pizza places were selling bread with tomato, and that was it because they'd run out of everything else that they could put on the pizza. So people were buying like just bread with tomatoes on it. It was a crazy time. That was another experience I'll never forget when it comes to a live performance, but it wasn't really a concert, so that's why I chose the Prodigy originally. But that was another experience that I had that was also very memorable.
Yeah. Last year, we saw Hans Zimmer in concert.
Wow.
He is the conductor who makes the music for
Yes.
the famous movies,
Uh-huh.
and he brought a live orchestra and they played all the songs from the movies that you recognize. It
Yeah,
was very good.
I could imagine it was amazing. He's very well known. I know who Hans Zimmer is. Yeah, yeah, very famous like film composer. So he's came down with a live orchestra. I bet that was amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, it was really, really good.
yeah. So that was in Spain, right? Obviously, that was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Bilbao.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Um, so Hans Zimmer, nice experience. I bet that was really, really cool. Slightly different to my experience as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, slightly different type of experience, but also very, very cool though. Hans Zimmer is yeah, he's very well known in that kind of field. So definitely. My next question for you was, well, to this one is do you have any regrets?
only one.
Only one regret. Okay. What is your?
Well, one major one.
Oh, it's a major one though. Okay.
I have a friend who died in a car accident when she was only 17.
Yeah.
And we have a very formal dance in the United States called prom. And she asked me to dance with her during prom, but they were playing a rap song, and I told her that I did not want to dance to rap music, and I never got a chance to dance with her because she died shortly after our prom.
Uh,
So if I could go back in time, I would dance with her.
uh, uh. You never know in life what's going to happen, though, do you? That's the problem. That's why we have regrets, is because at the time you don't think about these things, and we don't realize that maybe this is the only
Yeah,
opportunity to have that.
no one, no one expects to die at
It's
17.
far too young. It's far too young, isn't it, to be dying at that age?
Yeah,
Any age really is far too young, we might say, but definitely at that age is very, very young. It's very sad. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, I totally understand that being something you might regret, definitely. But yeah, we all make decisions like that. I seem to remember you being like that with your you were very picky with your songs that you would dance to, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
There were certain
yeah.
styles that you would not do, and there were other styles that you would quite happily get involved with, if I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. Uh,
I
I
don't
do
like
not do much dancing anymore, obviously,
uh,
but hopefully one day I'll be able to get out and embarrass my daughter.
I'm sure you do a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all will. I'm sure I'll be the same. My dancing is not really my thing either. Uh, so I'm very similar. So yeah, no, it's just very sad to hear that she died at such a young age, though. Like you say, it's tragic, isn't it, when people go way before their time? It's like,
yeah, you never know. So you
like
gotta take advantage of every day that you have.
yeah, yeah. Brings us back to your positivity mentality of staying positive, and things could be worse.
Yeah,
You never know
yeah, they could.
what you could miss out on. So always grab any opportunity you have and
Yeah.
advantage of it. Definitely, definitely. There we go. There we go. So
And what is your favorite form of exercise?
it's an interesting one. I used to be quite sporty when I was younger, but since I've got older, I don't really have the time. Unfortunately, it moves very fast nowadays. You probably noticed that since we were younger, time seemed to last longer and we had more free time to do things. But as we get older,
Yeah.
things take over, like work and responsibilities, and we have less and less time to do things. So sport was one of the things that kind of disappeared in my life, really. But I do exercise, and my favorite way of exercising would be going to the gym. I know it's not for everyone, but I do. I go like 4 or 5 days a week. It's something for me that if I go to the gym, I will do exercise. If I try and do it at home, it's impossible. I can't get into the routine of doing it in my home. Something about being in a gym, it's like if you go there, you have to exercise. You can't just go there and sit down or do nothing. Like you have to be active when you go there. I need that personally. The way that my mentality works is something like that motivates me to kind of to exercise. I can't get the motivation to do anything if I'm at home. I know some people might prefer doing it at home or might prefer CrossFit or going running, for example. But for me, I have to go to a specific place where exercise is what you need to do. Otherwise, I
Yeah.
won't. Basically, it's weird, but that's how I work. So going to the gym is definitely the best way to do exercise for me because it encourages me and motivates me to do it. Unlike other forms of exercise that I don't have the same motivation. So, um, but it's something I've been doing for a few years now, but maybe just over a couple of years. I got back into it. I did stop for a while and got very unhealthy, and then decided that I needed to get back into it, and I started going again. And
That's good.
I got the routine. Like anything in life, you need to pick up a routine, don't you? And you need to get going
Yeah.
and stick to it. And it's something that for the last like 2.5 years I've managed to keep going, which is a nice achievement, definitely.
Yeah, that's good. About a year ago, I went back home to Texas to focus on my recovery, and I joined a local gym, and I would ride the stationary bike, and every day there was an old lady who was 75, and she would ride the bike next to me. And one day I asked her how long she rode, like in distance, and she rode the bike in 3 days what I would do in 6 days.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, she was like a superwoman.
Yeah. Yes. Some people are very active throughout their lives, and you see some old people in the gym. Like, yeah, there's a couple who come to my gym as well, and they're quite elderly people, and they stay very active, and it's very impressive at that age to be doing what they do. But it's obviously very good for them. It's it's not just
Yeah,
it's not just physical, it's mental as well, I think. So going to the gym definitely improves your mentality and your outlook on things. So
yeah,
it's a good thing to do, definitely. Or any type of exercise, really, I believe is good for your mind as well as your body. So
yeah. I've got to stick around for my daughter. So I exercise even though I do not like it.
yeah, I just need to start working on eating better. That's my problem. I exercise regularly, but I don't eat healthily regularly. It's that
Yeah,
really the number one thing to get, but the most
yeah, that's the hard part.
is the hard part. Exactly. Yeah, difficult bit. It's not easy when you have various food places like 2 minute walk from your house, which we do here, unfortunately, just on the corner uh, over the road, literally. There's a couple of cake places and a burger place and a pizza place and etc. So it's very easy just to go out and eat unhealthily, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we try anyway. So yeah, gotta keep trying, gotta keep trying.
Yeah.
Be doing something. That's the most important thing. So um, I guess you don't go to the gym in Spain. Do you have a gym nearby that you go to there, or you just I suppose with all the
No,
physio and stuff.
I work out at home and I go to my rehab where they do exercise with me like you would do at the gym.
Uh,
So,
yeah,
yeah, it is very similar to a gym.
yeah, nice. So that keeps you going. That's good. Yeah, and you do it at home as well. Like I say, I struggle to do any kind of exercise. As soon as I'm home, that's it. I'm in relax mode, and
Yeah, I
the
am
form of
following
activity is out the window.
my yoga program from that ex wrestler.
Okay. So you got yoga as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's chair yoga. So it's all about getting more flexibility and being able to stand up unsupported.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, like you said before, it's process, right? It's everything is just take it day by day and little improvement,
Yeah,
basically.
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But you'll get there. You'll get there. Like you say, you're still, still plenty of time left to work to that goal, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah. My next question for you is, what's the best advice you have ever received?
The best advice I've ever received.
Yeah.
Hmm, probably when somebody told me don't sweat the small stuff because you shouldn't stress about things that you cannot change because no amount of stress will change it. So if you can't change it, don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's a good piece of advice, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Don't worry about what you cannot change. True.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, for example, um, I have two pumps on my brain
Hmm.
that keep me alive. They drain off my excess brain fluid. And if they were to fail, then I would have to start over from square one with my recovery. And I know that they will fail eventually. I do not know when, but I don't worry about it because no matter how much I stress about it, I cannot change the fact that one day they are going to fail. I can only hope that they will last a long time.
Hmm. That's it. Yeah. Remain positive. Remain positive. That's what it's all about. Like you said before, positive thinking. And it's a good example. Yeah, definitely. It's something that many people could probably do well by following. Like I think we all stress about many things in life that we can't change, and we let it affect us. So it's definitely a good piece of advice to try and follow. Is to stress less about these type of things. But it's easier said than done sometimes, isn't it? So it's all a process.
Yeah.
Get to
And what's one goal that you have right now?
one goal. One thing I've been working on a lot is becoming more productive, being more productive with what I do. Um, so trying to get myself more productive, like doing the exercise is something that I worked on in the last couple of years. So I've been very productive with that. But with my work as well, being more productive with the stuff I do outside of teaching English, like doing the music stuff that I do. I've been more productive with that, like working with various people. I started doing some work with a company who works with film and TV. So I started doing some work with them, which was really interesting. Learned some stuff about that, and doing personal projects, like stuff that maybe I put off before and I never got done due to being saying that I'd be busy or I've got too much to do, and then you put it to the side and you don't do it. So recently I've been working a lot on trying to get more productive with the stuff that I do, and in the end having more stuff to show basically. So
Yeah.
it's easy to kind of get complacent and a bit sort of lazy with things sometimes. So it's something that I've been really working on towards. It's one of my goals is to be more productive and at the end of the year have more things to show.
That's a good goal.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's easy to kind of fall off the wagon a bit and kind of end up sort of going back to being a bit lazy and not doing everything that you should do. But I'm trying to stick to it, and so far this year it's been fairly positive. I've been sticking to most of the things that I've set for myself. So yeah, like you say, when you've got a family, etc., it motivates you more to kind of do the things that you want to do with your life. So
Yeah.
definitely helps. Definitely, definitely. So yeah, that's been a big thing. That's been a big thing. My next question for you is: if you could relive one day of your life, which day would it be?
The day that my daughter came home from the hospital with my wife, because I had just been released from the hospital, so I was not able to be present when my daughter was born. But because my wife had a C-section,
Mm,
they were in the hospital for 3 days.
mhm,
And when they came home and I got to see my wife and my daughter for the first time, I was very, very happy and relieved. And I will always treasure the memory of seeing them for the first time at home.
mm. Yeah. Wow. So you had to wait 3 days for her to come home and to be able to see your daughter. That's
Yeah,
must have been the longest 3 days.
yeah, I only had WhatsApp to talk to my wife,
Yeah.
and I was really nervous because I was not able to be present during the birth.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's difficult. My wife was also the same. She had C-section. I was lucky enough to be able to be at the hospital. I wasn't allowed to go in with her though when she was having the operation and the actual birth of my daughter. I wasn't able to go in there due to COVID and all the restrictions that they had there since then. It was very difficult for quantities of people to be in there, so they didn't let us go in basically in this particular hospital. There were too many people already in there, so it was beyond the limit. So I had to wait outside for Oh, I think I waited like 10 hours or something outside the hospital waiting for for any news and to hear what had happened and to be allowed to go in and see her. And that was long enough. So I can't imagine what 3 days was like for you waiting,
Yeah,
not even at the hospital as well. So
yeah, it was
that
not easy.
no, because I imagine that if she was like my wife, once she'd had the operation, she felt very tired, very she was still very affected by the the whole anesthetic and stuff that she had for the operation. So it was
Yes,
took her a while to kind of gain proper consciousness in order to communicate. So I imagine you were waiting a while for to communicate.
yes, I was.
No,
And my daughter lost too much weight initially, so they were worried about her weight and they monitored her very closely.
no.
But now she eats really well and she does not have any health problems.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, my daughter was the same when she was born. She was a little bit low on weight, so they had to monitor her as well for the eating and making sure that she was putting on enough weight. So
Yeah,
she actually went back to the hospital after she'd come back home. I think like a week later, after she'd been back home, she wasn't putting on enough weight, so we had to take her back to the hospital. She spent like a day or 2 days at the hospital in an incubator being fed and stuff in order to get her back up to where she should be. So
yeah.
yeah, it's a tricky time. It's
Well,
a
I'm
tricky time.
glad she's doing well now.
She eats like a monster now. Yeah, she doesn't stop eating. So it's completely opposite now. Yeah, she's doing very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but it's a beautiful time, isn't it? When when they arrive.
Yeah, it changes your life.
It does. Yeah, it does. It does definitely. It's a big, big, big change. A big change in life, but a beautiful change. A beautiful change. It's not something you would take back, definitely. So it's all good. It's all good. What was your next question? I think it's your question,
Uh,
isn't it? Yeah.
what's the best gift you have ever received?
Interesting one. It's an interesting one. I've been quite fortunate in my life and received various things throughout my life. But one that I always remember was when I was very young. I received some golf clubs from my dad when I was like about 4, 5 years old, weirdly, because my dad used to love golf. And for that reason, I started playing golf when I was like 5 years old because he bought me some one day. He just came back home from a work trip that he'd been on and he bought me some golf clubs. And I started playing golf and I played up until I was about like 15, 16. So it was because of that gift that I discovered that I could actually play that sport. Many people don't like the sport or think it's very boring and hate it, but uh, it was something that I quite enjoyed doing when I was younger. I was very young.
Yeah,
Uh, it helped that I was quite good at it, weirdly. Like, I don't know if it's because I started when I was very young, but I always remember that. I always remember that gift, and it gave me the chance to get into that and discover something that I probably never would have tried if that hadn't happened. So I would say
yeah,
that's one of the best gifts I ever received because of the experience I got from it.
yeah,
So yeah, it's been many years since I played golf now though. I don't get much opportunity here in Colombia. It's very difficult to play.
yeah, and it's expensive.
It's expensive and it's very exclusive. You have to know people, and there's not much public golf out here in Colombia. Where you
Yeah.
are in Spain, though, I believe Spain's quite a good place to go and play golf. They've got a lot of places
Yes,
up
it
there.
is.
Yeah, the United States as well is even better. Like there's loads of places there to go and play golf, but Colombia is not
Yeah,
the place to play golf. It's very exclusive over here. You have to be very
yeah,
rich or know very, you know, exclusive people in order to get out there and play. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've done it, but something that I used to enjoy doing a lot, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace and quiet more than anything. Just going out into nature and walking around, playing a sport,
Yeah.
but out there in the middle of nowhere, like just enjoying the peace and tranquility was something that was nice, definitely. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you about the best gift I have ever received.
What was your best gift that you received? Tell me. Yeah, go ahead.
When I was little, my grandfather, the father of my mother, he used to smoke a lot.
You didn't give us
And then he quit smoking and he would chew gum. And anytime we would ask, he would give us half a stick of gum. But the day that I graduated high school, he gave me for the first time a whole stick of gum. And it made me feel like a grown man. And he also gave me his truck, but the gum was more important than the truck.
There you go. It's the little things in life that count sometimes.
Yeah.
Big things. Yeah. There we go. Wow, wow, wow. Nice. So my next question for you is my last question actually on my list is what did you do to entertain yourself as a kid?
As a kid,
Uh,
um, I played outside or I played inside by myself, or I went to my friend's house or play video games, just normal kid stuff. But I was lucky that I had a childhood without the distractions of modern technology.
yeah. Like we talked about before, wasn't it? Like that nowadays kids are very distracted with all the things around us. Like it's it was a different life when we grew up, definitely without all those distractions. Um,
Yeah,
we lived life in a different way, really. Like you couldn't just arrange to go and meet your friends so easily. You couldn't just message and say like, "Oh, I'll meet you here and we'll go and do this together." You had to go around their house and knock on their door, right? And sometimes they would,
yeah.
or sometimes
And if you called somebody on the phone, you never knew who was going to answer.
exactly. Yeah. Was it who was going to be on the other end? You never knew. It's very true. Very true. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, or they wouldn't answer, and then you couldn't message, you couldn't get hold of someone if they were out, they were out, and that was it, right? You had to wait for them to come back home to speak to them.
yeah, that is true.
Nowadays, you can contact someone if they're in the streets or if they're on holiday, but before, if they didn't answer their phone or answer their door, that was it. No other options. So
Yeah,
yeah. You used to have to make you. We were very creative, I suppose. We had to make our own fun, so we were very creative when we were younger,
that is true.
creating games and activities that we used to do that you probably wouldn't get away with nowadays. I don't think. I think some of them have even been banned, from what I remember.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, the people are too soft. I think nowadays, like
Yeah, everybody's worried about being politically correct.
exactly that's one of the biggest issues, isn't it? Yeah, safe health and safety, etc. Like
Yeah,
the games we used to play when we were younger was, yeah, I don't think they do them anymore because of health and safety. A lot of them, they're too violent or too dangerous or too
yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't care when we were younger. We used to, yeah, do all sorts of crazy things. Like there's a very crazy game. We used to spin around on like we used to stick a rope on a tree and we used to tie like a tire to it, like an old tire. We used to like spin someone in this tire so that they'd spin round and round and round. Like they banned doing that though now apparently. Like apparently people got hurt, so they stopped doing.
Yeah,
But we used to do it every break
can't
time when I was at school, every day.
yeah, can't have fun anymore.
You can't, no, you can't go outside and just enjoy having fun. You can't climb a tree, for example, anymore. We used to climb trees all the time, go all the way up to the top of a tree. If you got seen doing that nowadays, you'd probably get into trouble, and yeah, it's just
Yeah,
far too dangerous. But no, we just do it all the time when I was younger, without a care in the world, basically. It was
yeah,
a different time.
that is true.
Yeah.
And my last question for you is, do you believe in fate or destiny?
Uh, it's a tricky one, really. I mean, I believe in hard work, and that if you work hard and you study something, you try at something, and you put effort into something, you will get results. Basically, is kind of my view on that type of thing. Like, is there fate? Is there destiny? I think we kind of make our own destiny in some ways. There's an element of luck, but I think we kind of create our own luck by the work we put into things. I believe if you try hard enough and you keep trying at something and you keep working at something, then it can happen, whatever it is that you want to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Well, I appreciate. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And no